walking. Pretty nice shoes, though. Look at that. I like those. Those $300 shoes, but I only got them for $40. Because I know how to shop. Anyway, how's everybody today? Starting to be freezing weather. As you can see, the little chunks of ice in the water. Over there you can see ice. So it's freezing. So poor people that are on the streets, I feel for them. Anyhow, I'm on my way to this meeting. It's called the Promise Team. There we go. So I'm on my way there. I gotta catch the bus. I left a few minutes later than I usually do. Oh, we got how many more subscribers? We got, it's 98, so that's 7 more subscribers. So again, thank you all for subscribing. I appreciate it dearly. You know, I've been on this YouTube channel for 10 years. I only have 98, but to me that's like a million. Anyway, so I appreciate your subscribing. I appreciate your interest in what I have to share. I thank you for that. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I'm on my way to my job area, and kind of went and if you will, I went and I left a little later than usual, so I'm kind of in a hurry a little bit. But this is the back area of where I live, and I'll tell you, you can't get more ghetto. I mean, you can get more ghetto, don't get me wrong, but look, no sidewalks. See that? No sidewalks. What do they call those? Warehouses. You know what I mean? Can you believe it? These warehouses used to actually have wooden doors on them. Maybe not these ones in particular, but some of these used to have big, giant wooden doors on them. Then they realized people can slide those open and break in. So now they got metal or styrofoam or whatever it is. Anyhow, this is ghetto. Big time. Big time. You can't get more ghetto than this. So I am at the moment walking. Look at all them pigeons. Lots of pigeons. That reminds me of that scripture in Matthew. And I know some of you kind of get offended at what I say. Some of you that listen do. And it's understandable, because you're not used to it. You know, you're used to, because everything, I don't care who you are out there. And I don't mean to be offensive towards anyone, or I don't mean to be like matter of fact in your face, but if it gets that way, that's really not on me, folks. Watch this. Try staring at the sun. It's gonna hurt your eyes. That's why you don't do it. So instead of staring at the light, well, how about you become the light? Anyway, that's interesting. Oh, so anyway, mostly everything you have came from someone else. Period. You can argue that all you want, but it did. Now you might tell yourself that to me as well, which kinda you'd be right, sort of. But let me show you something. It's true, everybody breathes oxygen, but no one breathes mine. Isn't that wild? You know what I mean? It's not secondhand or third-hand oxygen. It's fresh oxygen that I breathe. So do you. So it's like it's yours at that moment in time. And without that, you can't have an opinion. You can't have an income. You can't have a gender or a non-gender. You can't have an age. You can't have anything without that oxygen. I think I shared this before, but I'm going to share it one more time. I was sharing with some gentlemen some truth, and they were all partaking, which was kind of cool. It's about 8 of us there. One gentleman joined in, and as I was sharing, he said, hey, why, here's what he said, literally. He said, why should I be thankful to God? God has never done anything for me. I said, well, if that's the case, then you need to go to another planet, make your own oxygen, and stop breathing his. Right away, he said, oh, I never thought of it like that. Now, don't get me wrong, folks. I know, because I know there's a lot of situations that we get into that we would like to blame God. We would like to, what's the ghetto without having a siren going off, right? It doesn't feel officially ghetto until you see an ambulance rolling down or a cop car with their sirens on. So hooray for the ghetto. Anyway, we're going back to this. And I get it. I've had these arguments myself. I mean, big time. I've had these arguments that, why does he allow this? Why does he allow that? All those things that, but it's kind of funny. When kids are small, they ask why, about everything. They ask why about everything. It doesn't matter what it is. And it's kind of cool, I think, to myself. I think it's kind of cool that they ask why. And I'll tell you, there is an answer. There's always an answer. It's pretty cold out right now. I think it's like 34. And it's a little chilly. But in North Dakota, it's about 12 or 19, which is way chillier. So I'm not too upset about this kind of weather. At least the sun's out. Give a little warmth. Anyway, so here, I understand all that. I really, really, really do. And I could, because there's a lot of stories out there. A lot. There's so many experiences out there. There's so many things out there that people want to argue about, which is cool. That's what mouth and ears are for. They're for discussion. They're for output and input. But here's the thing, folks. Again, I'll go back to that. Like I was saying yesterday, or when I was live before, that you are not your own, period. I know you like to think so, but you're not. You know what I mean? You're not. When you're on the earth the first time, maybe 4 months, 5 months, someone else is feeding you, someone else is changing you, someone else is transporting you. You're not doing it on your own. And they're basically in control of you, if you will. If you live long enough on this earth, someone else will be transporting you, someone else will be feeding you, someone else will be changing you. Isn't that wild? It's like a full circle. You know what I mean? Anyhow. But what's interesting, very, very powerful word, hope. Even the movies kind of deal with that word, hope. H-O-P-E. I think it was, if you ever seen that movie, the Hunger Games, President Snow, well, that was his name on the movies. I believe it was Donald Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland's dad anyway. He said hope is more dangerous than anything. You know, hope is very dangerous. You know, and this is what is given to us. Okay? Because everyone who is alive partook of life. So everyone who is alive who partook of life will partake of death. Period. That's just the way it is. You know? And it ain't how you die. It's just the fact that you die. Okay? And, you know, there's a lot of different ways out there to say what happens after. And it's all interesting. I ain't gonna say it ain't. I ain't gonna say that it's not something that is, you know, interesting. No, it's very interesting, a lot of the beliefs out there. Okay? And there was an argument, or is an argument about, well, there can't be only one way. Well, when Jesus testified about himself, he never said, I'm the only way. He never said that. He never said, I'm one way. He said, I am the way. Now, here's the thing. You have to ask yourself, because again, yeah, there's a lot of interesting ideas out there about how things continue on after you leave the earth. I mean, a lot. And they're all interesting, don't get me wrong. Like I said, here's the thing though. I'll say it. The way to this side of life, I'll say it straight up. And you can't argue it. I don't care what scholars up there. I don't care what argumentative person is out there. It doesn't matter how much degrees you hold. You can't argue this. Here's what it is. The way, if you will, to this side of life, or to this earth, or to this life is through the womb. There is no other way. Period. See, you can't argue that. It doesn't matter what race. It doesn't matter what gender. It doesn't matter what belief. It does not matter what part of the world you are inhabiting. The only way to this side of life is through the womb. And a male and a female must be involved. Now you might tell yourself, well, for now, like I remember this one guy, because that's the arguers, and I appreciate the arguers, you know what I'm saying? But it's like the guys, like one time this guy said to me, he said, I said, I'm so glad they can't charge for oxygen. And here's what he said, not yet. Which is implying that they will eventually charge for oxygen. Okay, I said, okay, at this moment in time, I had to be specific. They're not charging for oxygen. And then, of course, he brought another one. Well, in China they are. I said, okay, not in China. And in this moment in time, they're not charging for oxygen. See what I'm saying? And so here, that fact that we must come through the womb is an argument, or excuse me, a statement that Jesus made. Here's what he said. You must be born again. Now, it's not a stipulation. It's not a criteria. A lot of people take it that way, but it's not. It's not a decision. It's not something you decide to do. Okay? When he said that. He said, you must be born again. Now, here's the thing. I'll make that statement too, and you won't be able to argue it. Here's the statement. In order to be able to drink milk, you must be born in the flesh. In order to breathe oxygen, you must be born in the flesh. In order to grow teeth, to grow your bones, all those things, you must be born in the flesh. See? And you can't argue that either, period. And if any of my wonderful subscribers are saying hi, hello to you, how you doing today? Good to see you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it dearly. Let me make my disclosure now. I am not attempting to get subscribers. I am not intending to become famous. I am not intending to derive money from this, although if it happens, of course, I will partake. And I am not getting to try to get you to believe in God. Any of that stuff. Can I get it all day, man? All day. Appreciate it. Okay. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do all that. Anyway, so, again, no way am I trying to get you to believe in God. No way am I trying to get you to go to church. No way am I trying to get you to any of that stuff at all. That's not my intention. I'm just going to share. Okay? And if you want to listen, fine. If you don't want to listen, fine. That's cool too. You know? Because right now, where I'm at on the bus, it looks like I'm talking to myself. But I guess in this day and age, that's not counted as crazy anymore. You know what I mean? Anyhow. So, hello everybody. I appreciate it. Oh, let's see what they're saying. The trap. Love. The traps here in... Whoa. Okay, so the traps here in... The traps here in Vegas. Okay. Love. Okay, so I guess the trap is love. I guess that's what he's saying. And that is from one of my subscribers, I believe. Something Kennedy. Adrian Kennedy. Okay, so you say the trap is there? Wonderful. Oh, nice. Anyway, hello and good morning to all my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it very much. I went from 63 to 93, back to 91. Now I'm at 98. So anybody that subscribes, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Okay, going back to this now. The hope that we're given, okay, it's kind of cool, you know, because you get to partake of the beautiful sunrises and sunsets without paying $1. You get to breathe oxygen and see all the beauty of the earth without paying $1. You get to experience everything on earth without paying $1, unless man's involved. When man's involved, it is dangerous, because then you have to pay more than $1. It's so wild because I'm working on art now, a lot of art. I got December, January, February. I guess that's how the Germans do it. When I watch Inglourious Bastards, he did the 3 like that, and the Germans do 3 like that, from what I gather. Anyway, I'm working. I'll show you guys. I showed it on Facebook, but I'll show you guys too what I'm doing. I'm actually going to create a jacket, a parka, if you will. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to create it, period. excited about it because I'm going to do it all by hand. I've got a sewing machine, don't get me wrong. I'm going to thread my sewing machine. I'm going to make some star quilts as well. But I like my sewing machine, but I want to try. I'm gonna do it by hand. I'm gonna do it by hand, sew by hand. You know, it's more of a cool thing because then I don't want to say raise the price on it, but it gives you a little more value when you do it by hand because it's an actual art thing. You know what I mean? Anyway, interesting. I'm gonna cut this off because there's a lot of people getting on board and I don't want to disturb anyone. So I'll talk later. Bye.